Hey, what's up, everybody? Cowboy. It's Tuesday. We had a nice day off yesterday. And let's see here. Yeah, that's right. We're not doing Mondays anymore. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Then we'll jump right into the charts. So basically, look, a lot of professional traders, they don't touch Mondays. When it comes to like Forex and things like that. Yeah, equities traders, they'll trade the market open. I don't really know quite as many of those in the professional realm. But on Mondays, like FX traders and even some like index traders that I know, they don't really mess with Mondays. What happens is that over the weekend, a lot of sort of information gets clogged up, right? You have all these things that are happening. You have news that might be happening, and the market really can't move like it usually does. Not as many people are trading. Even certain all the markets are closed, obviously. So when the markets open up, all the events and information that's built up over the past several days, that all kind of comes to a head at the market open. And then the market open tends to move in directions that are not quite as easy to work with. Like it'll move in an unexpected direction, or it'll do things that are very hard to predict, and etc. And so a lot of traders just don't mess with Mondays. And because primarily we are crypto and FX traders, and those markets are so affected, we're not messing with Mondays. And a lot of FX traders didn't even trade Fridays either, although we're still going to keep that. So that's what's going on. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin here. We've got a pullback to 93,000, and everybody's freaking out, and it's all the bear markets here. And don't be silly. Look, oh yeah, technically this could have been the top. I have talked a lot about a possibility for $100,000 top. That has been a conversation, and that has to do with a theory that perhaps with the big money in, it's in their interest to keep things from going past $100,000. Now, it does seem though, with the new political situation, that crypto might be allowed to head past that. And even if it wasn't for that situation, it might still be the crypto is going to head past that. And ultimately, a lot of that's going to depend on the entire world and how much they want crypto and so on. In the meantime, this pullback is very normal. Let's see how far it's gone back. Let me see, from 99 down to 92. So that's like a 7% move back. It's really not that big of a deal. If I were to take a look at this most recent move where Bitcoin really started to go after the election, we can see that it was, I think, like a 50% move. So from the election day, basically right before it, all the way up to the top, was a 49% move. So basically 50%. So Bitcoin moved 50% in like a couple of weeks. So look, price doesn't just go in one direction when it's moving up or even when it's moving down. Price has pullbacks, and you can even see it on the screen. There were a couple of small pullbacks, but usually you have a bit of an up, a bit of a down. Even on the high time frame, if I were to actually kind of stretch this out, you'll see that sure, we had a massive move up here, like from let me see, what is this, September of 2023 to what is this, March of 2024. It was a 200% move. There was a little bit of pullback. Really, it just went like straight up. But if you look at it from a market structure standpoint, if you want to be realistic about markets, if you want to look as an experienced person does at a market, you see price went up, came back down, and went up. It wasn't a straight move, right? And then this last move up, this last hard move up, right? That pulled, let me see, that was about 100%, it's like a 95% move. And that particular move actually retraced about 33%. So we lost really, and that was just a 33% move in Bitcoin. The whole price, it really decreased about 75%. So it moved, it doubled in price. And then that move was cut down about 75%, that individual move itself. So, you have to understand these big moves, they do have big pullbacks. And if you don't see a big pullback now, you're going to see it later, right? So there's a really good chance from a very, very high time frame standpoint that Bitcoin's going to pull back, and it could easily pull back like to 30,000 or maybe to 70,000. I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about after the bull market's over. But even during the bull market, during the bull market, a pullback to 73,000, 74,000, even though like a lot of people would be devastated, I mean, it would be a healthy pullback. It would. Now, I don't know that it's going to go any lower. It might not go any lower than it is right now. If we want to look at this move up just or holistically, then let's take a look at just this move. You got this one push up, right? Now, typically at this time in the market, price doesn't pull back too far, right? Typically, this is when price just continues to go up until it's done going up. But there are some pullbacks. And if we were to look at this, like I said, holistically, you attach a Fibonacci to this big giant move, and at least a 382 pullback is about 88,000. And then even there is a Fibonacci I tend not to use, but it's there. Let me put it on here. It's the 236. So there are those who use a 236. I don't, but it's there. And if we were to line that out, you would see that a 236 is what just happened. So let me zoom in a little bit. So 236 pullback is right here at this structure. This pullback to 93, I called it. I said it was going to happen. I said it was going to happen on Sunday, and it happened on Monday. I mean, I told you this was going to happen, like very, very likely. I never say something's going to happen absolutely, but I'm like, hey, this is really probably going to happen. And it sure did. I called this move. Like, we could have made money trading that. Like, just go short. I mean, it's, these things are that's why we predict the future so we can make money on it. So, this move should not be a surprise to anybody watching this channel. And, just like the best thing to do is to stay calm. Now, price could do a couple of things right now. I'm going to go ahead and add some more data here so we can take a look at what may happen from a data standpoint. And we're going to refine our data by looking at volume nodes. And the most likely place for price to go is where it's gone. But it could go anywhere from where it is now down to about 88,000. So just looking at the way that volume worked on this move, where we are in the market, if I were to say my most likely place for price to go, it would be anywhere between where it is right now, which really should be a little bit higher like this. So anywhere from this, which really is a 236 fib, down to about 88,000 roughly, right? Maybe 87. Anywhere in there, price could just go, and it might take days. It might take all week. It might take a couple weeks. Like these things happen, right? Let's see, we got a comment. Yeah, right. Thank you, Cool Cat. I called that cold. I mean, I just, now technically price could go a little bit lower, but look, if we go back to the prior bull market around this time, let's just do 2020 here. Bitcoin does very similar things every bull market. And right after the election here, it really went up high. It just kept going. And it had a quick pullback, though. It did have a quick little pullback right here, right? So I did this for some other viewers yesterday. But if you look at the election, price went up, did a quick pullback. I mean, probably in this case, if I were to, it looks like a 236. If I were to use a fib, it's probably 236. Because I would measure that like this. Yeah, it made a 382 pullback, which in our case would be 88,000, right? And then it just kept going. Now, I don't know if we're going to get the same level of moving up because Bitcoin, prior to the halving, made all-time highs, right? So it didn't do that in this case until about December. So it's really kind of a little bit of a different landscape, this bull cycle. But it looks to me, at least for the moment, from a numbers standpoint, that Bitcoin's not quite done. I do think the top is most likely going to be between 120 and 160,000. That's what I think the top is going to be. And I think that we have probably another month or two to get there. And then maybe for a few weeks, we have the altcoins all going off. And then it might be time to, I think it's wise to take profits all the way up. I think it's wise to take a little bit of profit at 100,000. I'm not telling you what to do there, but I think it's wise to do. But as price really approaches like 120, if it even gets there, then, I'll be kind of like, okay, let's shave a little off here. You know what I mean? It's always wise to take profit after a major move up, a 50% move up. It's wise to take some profit. So anyway, this is crypto. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's gone down. And okay, yeah. Well, what did it go down? 7%? It's crypto. It's the bull market. It just went up 50% like in 2 weeks. It's going to go down a little bit. It's all right. Don't worry about it. So we're going to go ahead and move over to the private live lab. And look, as this unfolds, we are going to, just keep mapping it out. And again, as the technical market tends to unfold after like major moves. So you have like how do I say this? You have shocks. That's what they're called. And so when a shock hits, and in this case, the election maybe had something to do with it, happened the same way in 2020, and I think it happened the same way in 2016. But either way, or whenever the prior bull was, you have these shocks and you have pullbacks. Just the way it goes. So let's go ahead and move on. Thank you all for watching. If you have like stuff you want to see during this public show, just leave comments. Leave a comment in the in the YouTube comments. If you're with Algo Factory, the private live lab, you can just ask in there. We go for another 50 minutes or so after this live show. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and move over. Catch you on the flip side, algofactory.tech. Come on over. Trade like a hedge fund pro. We teach people how to do it. And most of it is just hard work. It's not like you have to know a lot of math, and you don't have to be like super smart. It's just mostly homework. It's really not what people think it is. And it's data science, and it's boring. And what's not boring is when you watch your account balance go up. That's not boring at all. So hopefully we see you over there.
Join us or die.